the AI stuff is really funny to me because it's anybody who is into science fiction or is into futurism or progress or whatever. It's like a dream to imagine that we'll be able to make a computer that can, because it takes the work away, a computer that does all the work for us, and it's also included in that is the idea that it would bring about like an era of super abundance. Like everything, you could have anything you want at any time. Which, I mean, if that were the case, if there were computers that could think like a human that would bend to our will for some reason, then yeah, we would have super abundance. We would have, you could just say, I want my dick sucked by a robot that looks like Bai Ling right now, and it would just come in. Hello, Mr. Hyde, I'm Chang One. I suck your dick now. That's what it would just be. The future would just be anything you wanted, anytime would just happen. And that's like the dream of these little fucking nerds. Yeah, it's like towering cities of glittering steel and chrome windows and cyberpunk. Like that's the dream is like this future, this
Rocket Land. Yeah.
They all have the same fucking little stupid ass fantasy. And it's so, I think it's so funny because what they call AI now, it's not AI. It's heuristics, recognizing visual characteristics that pictures of cats share. And it's so cynical that they use cats for this because Redditors love cats too. Oh my God, catter day, when's my cake day? There's a picture of a cat. Oh, I love pictures. Like it's just like the Redditors are getting fucking the CIA psyops. Look up CIA psyops patch. I mean, this is brutal. If this is real, you've just been fucked by psyops because physical wounds heal, shattering the human mind. It's making your eye twitch. That right there is what's happening to Redditors right now, thanks to NVIDIA, Elon Musk, et al. The idea that image recognition, like the characteristics of a cat, recognizing that after being fed trillions of fucking pictures, you have to train an artificial intelligence to feed, which means feed enough data to an algorithm. There's no intelligence. There's no fucking intelligence involved in this. A fucking child. If you show a child a cat, they know instantly what it is.
Right.
I know what you're saying. When was the first time Alice saw an animal?
She was 6 months old.
Was at like 2 or like 1.5. Was there like a shock of recognition? Was there a fascination?
No.
What was there?
No.
No?
Nope. There was nothing. She was like, oh, there's the cat.
So she knew
right away.
But
I know what you're saying. What you're saying is the AI right now is the equivalent of me learning what a printer is and then printing 1,000 copies of my own name out and saying that's genius.
Yes.
As opposed to
the instantaneous, this is a fluffy thing, I can pet it, is it dangerous? Is it going to bite me? Oh, it has a wet nose. Like the fucking thoughts that go through the head of a 2-year-old when he or she sees a cat or a dog or whatever are like, they're fucking infinity miles away. It's so far away. A 2-year-old, the mind of a 2-year-old is galaxies away from these gay computers. Okay? Yeah. The gay computers, they do things. It's beautiful. Go back to the CIA patch. The way that the Redditor is getting mind fucked right now into thinking that the takeover of our computer overlords is coming. Fuck. And the driving thing is especially good because driving is so human. Driving is American. Yeah. You drive your car, you're a man. If you don't have a car, you're not a man. Who drives? Humans do. People drive. It's the most human thing you can do. And it's all the emotions are wrapped up in it. I'm on my cell phone. I'm getting angry. I'm having fun driving fast. I'm listening to music. I'm a human. Like you'd be hard pressed.
It's like dancing.
It's like dancing. You'd be hard pressed to pick something better than this for this purpose.
Right.
And also it's so fucking easy that you could almost do what they're doing now in 1995 on PlayStation. What's my evidence for this? Go play GTA. What do the cars do? Are they banging into walls everywhere? No. The game that has like 64 kilobytes of code for the driving algorithm, the cars are driving down the street, decelerate at the stoplight, wait for the pedestrian to cross, take off slow, turn the corner. This was in Grand Theft Auto 3.
Sam, what about Burger King wrappers flying across or false positives?
They weren't perfect at that era in time. Okay?
I'm just saying. It's only taken us 35 years to get 1.00.
One wrapper at a time. One wrapper at a time.
That's what we say at the office of the self-driving cars. Who's that?
Lex Friedman.
I don't know who that is.
He's like a podcaster guy, but he's kind of Joe Rogan-y, but he wears a black suit, a black tie, and a white shirt for every 1,000 of his episodes.
That's cool. I'm gonna do that.
But he's I don't want to shit on him, but his thing is he's like a pure, like fully bought in believer in the future, meaning that like computers and all the crap that we invent is better than loving your family or whatever, like fucking something from the 50s. So he
how do you get that detached?
By fucking being on the computer all day. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be that.
He was saying that driving is actually very sophisticated and a good proof of the merit of not the merit, but the sophistication of artificial intelligence, because you have to think, you have to guess what people are going to, you have to read human emotions and guess what people are going to do. It's absurd. And that has nothing to do, like Tesla's AI, Mobileye, all these, none of these things are like reading human emotions.
No.
But that's not involved. And that's not even what it is either. It's the calculation of, he was talking to fucking the guy one of the guys that invented like computer processors. Man. The guy said it's just ballistics calculations. It's just a calculation of like a large mass moving through space, and that's something that we've had. Like there are guided missiles from the 80s that can target
that can hit a coffee cup on one hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is not difficult for computers to do. It's just a fucking physics. So just so people know what's going to happen with AI is that anything that a computer can do, obviously it can be done way faster than a human. So it's to say nothing of quality control or the meaningfulness or importance of doing it. Those things aside, if a computer can do it can do it 1,000,000 times faster than a human. Fine. So what's going to happen is all the low-hanging fruit, which is I think this actually might be a cool thing. I mean, it's not going to be cool that it displaces driver jobs. But I think that on the flip side of that, the good side of that is that it's going to displace finance jobs. Because in this, can you look up a percent of the American GDP that's finance? Because all the finance
11%, I would say.
I think it is 11 or 12%. Yeah. All that finance shit.
Yeah, that grifting.
Yeah, all that grifting
20%
can be done much better by a computer than it can by a human. And they have this in China where they have AI-based lending, where you, they do algorithmic lending in America too for low amounts. They do it in China for higher amounts, where it just looks at your credit score, your age, all these factors. Because in China they collect more data on people publicly that's available to people that do stuff like this. So in China you get an AI loan decision.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, algorithmic trading, the day trading, the forex stuff, all that stuff's going to be dead if it's not already, because it's going to be done by AI. So I think the good side of losing all of our truckers and everything and cab drivers is that we're going to also lose these faggot nothing people.
I feel like
in the mix, and
we'll still lose though.
And thankfully, furthermore, graphic designers and illustrators are going to be done.
Well, there's no more need for them.
Game over. If you're in graphic design school right now, you can quit because in 10 years your job won't exist.
Yeah, that's fair. Because if you think about it, because they already have the AI.
But I'm not sorry, because you're making a fucking WordPress template for some fucking dog grooming salon. You do graphic. It's the ultimate not art.
I feel like AI though is going to eat it's going to be soon. It'll be implemented into like small business. Like
it's going to saturate all the low hanging fruit. Yeah. Because people have spent so much time game theoretically playing out what AI could be used for.
Yeah.
That all the uses for it have been discovered. It's just going to saturate all the low hanging fruit. It's going to take the driver jobs. You're going to have Amazon drone delivery. You're going to have quantum computer based fucking micro hedge fund date. Like it's something that won't even affect you. You're not going to care about it. It's just going to make some Indian guy the richest man on the planet. You don't have to think about it though. And anybody who needs an illustration, sorry illustrators, anybody that needs graphic design, they're just going to go to a website and type in logo that looks comfy and homey for local coffee shop, and they'll get something better than what you would have made.
They can type in Joe Rogan with a dick the size of a building and know what it looks like. I don't have to pay someone $1,500 to
exactly. Do it again. But that's it. That's where it stops. It's gonna saturate and it's gonna plateau because it's not actual intelligence. It's just an algorithm. It's just a new form of computing
that's used on a broader scale.
And computing has its limits.
I know. Yeah.
Traditional computers, amazing.
Or data collection.
Traditional computers, amazing, huge innovation. It's not going to wax your car.
Yeah.
It's not going to put my socks on. It's not going to make me healthier. It does a certain number. There are things that it can do based on the form that it is. Any technology is like this. Writing, video cameras, whatever. You can't use a video camera to
fuck.
I
can't fuck the camera.
You can combine it. You can bring the video camera into it and
stick the camera up my own ass.
Somehow.
Fuck myself with the camera.
But it's not a It's not a true. You're not getting any benefit out of it.
And you will get. I would love the argument because I know better than to argue like this because I fucking hate when people argue like that. They'd go, parts of your life becoming healthier. Yeah, you're getting healthier, bud. When you have access to good nourishment and they give like the 3 little fucking pit pot.
The 3 facts. They've got their little.
If you've got groceries to people 5 times faster than they were, based on an algorithm, that does actual equal health. I'm just like chainsaws this way, like like I can't. And that's what this argument's going to be met with the whole time. Yeah, where people are going to be overhyping, kind of like you're saying.
The counter to that is just what's the transistor law? Can you look up transistor law? It's not Murphy's law. It's fucking Moore's law. I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, Moore's law. So the transistors double every 2 years, and doubling is a powerful mathematical process. So doubling is, oh my god, you double it. You can, if you double something a couple hundred times, you now have a number larger than the number of particles. Get this shit off the screen, you fucking faggot ass. Doubling is a powerful process. So people looked at that and they were like, oh my god, you double the speed of a computer. You're gonna double it every year. What's the future gonna be like? Oh my god, we're gonna be able to have interdimensional. So we're gonna go. It's gonna be Star Trek.
Sentient.
And the point is just that there's an exponential rise in one metric doesn't necessarily equal anything. It just means that the metric is rising. Like the computer speeds could fucking quintuple right now.
Yeah,
it wouldn't change anything.
You still wake up and take a shit.
I still like am sweaty. I still need this Indian food. Like it's not. It doesn't change the fucking world that I'm in. It just makes it so that the computer is like a little bit less aggravating to use. Maybe. Not even that, because the bottleneck is the hard drive. Fucker. So and this is what I think I mentioned this before. One of the reasons why the Vietnam War was such a catastrophe is because they were measuring because the war was over here. The people making the decisions were fucking 12,000 miles away. The only way they weren't looking at the war. They were getting data back. So they were measuring the success of the war based on data. And the data was how many Viet Cong killed. And this didn't, can we look up this, what the fuck?
So they were like fighting battleship blind.
Thinking that, listen, man, thinking that because you can quantify something, it is important, it's a massive blind spot in your thinking. If you think that quantifying something makes it important, or if you think that only important things can be quantifiable, you have a giant Joe Rogan building cock-sized blind spot in your thinking, because so many things are just more subtle than that. And it's so like doubling processor size, the amount of Viet Cong killed, and the point there being that they were ignoring how many new Viet Cong were being created when you killed the brother of some guy or whatever. Like you killed the head of some family. How many new Viet Cong were you making? And they also ignored just morale. Like they ignored the incredible stress that our soldiers were under, and the lack of morale, and the fact that home sentiment was so bad. They were just a blind eye to this, and they were just thinking, how many successful bombing runs did we do today? McNamara. Can you look up McNamara quantify? That might bring it up. Is there like a logical fallacy named after this guy? The McNamara fallacy. Okay, there you go. The McNamara fallacy. If you do anything, if you are an entrepreneur, if you do anything that's businessy, look that up and just remember, ingrain that make that a part of your thought processes. But that's part of what's going on with the, oh my God, NVIDIA's got a new 7 nanometer chip. It's the same shit. It's the same shit.